First thing I would encourage you to do, if you want to grow your sales from where we are right now, is to re-engage your clients. It's a simple fact that every dollar you've ever made in your business has come as a result of the customers who have spent money with you, your client base, every single dollar. Therefore, the dollars we make going forward should start with the very people who have accounted for every single dollar of our sales to date. And the way that we do that is by re-engaging them, by reaching out to them, finding out where they are, what's going on, and how we can help them. So the first recommendation I have with this is to reach out right now. If you haven't done it, and it's likely there are some prospects, some clients you haven't talked to lately, and if you haven't done it, I would encourage you to reach out as soon as possible, because our lives go on, their lives go on. And if we're not interacting with them, they're going to be interacting with other people. So even if they're not ready to buy, even if they've got lots of challenges they're dealing with, simply by reaching out and finding out where they are, finding out what's going on in their lives, in their businesses, in their heads, finding out what they're thinking about is going to be very helpful to you and to them. It lets them know that you're not just here to try to sell them stuff, but that you're actually interested in them, that you actually care about them and you care about getting them results. We want to re-qualify them to see where they stand right now. Qualification, I believe, is one of the most key aspects of our business. Qualifying prospects to find out whether or not they're a good candidate to buy from us, to work with us. That's key whenever we're doing any prospecting. But qualifying and re-qualifying our existing clients is also critical. If you think about it, every single prospect, every single client we ever come into contact with will fall into one of 5 categories when it comes to buying, when it comes to qualification. Either they are ready to buy right now. We'd love for most of them to be that way. The truth is that they aren't always in that situation. Second group are those who have specific dates in mind when they want to buy. Well, I'm not ready to go now, but middle of March, I have an event and I would like to put something together for that, right? They're thinking about what they've got and they know when they're going to do it. The third group are those who are generally receptive. They're open to the idea of buying, but they're not sure exactly what, they're not sure exactly when. So they're not ready to buy now. They don't have specific dates in mind, but they're open to it. That's the third group. Fourth group are those who are disqualified. No need, no desire, no money, no budget, no willingness to spend. They're just disqualified. They're not going to buy from us. It's good to be able to identify those people as quickly as possible so that we're not wasting our time. And then the fifth group are those who are unresponsive. We reach out to them, they don't respond back. We leave them voice messages, they don't call back. We send them texts, we send them emails, they don't respond to anything. Unresponsives. Every single prospect that you ever come into contact with will fall into one of those 5 categories. And every single client you've ever dealt with currently falls into one of those 5 categories. They're either ready to buy from you right now, or they have specific dates in mind when they want to buy, or they're generally receptive, they're open to the idea of buying from you, or they're not, they're disqualified at the moment, or they're unresponsive, they're just not getting back to you. So one of the biggest favors you can do for yourself and for your clients is to re-engage them, to re-qualify them, to find out where they are in those 5 levels of qualification. And then once you've done that, you know exactly what you have to do next. If somebody's ready to buy, you recommend products and you sell it to them. If they have specific dates in mind, you get them scheduled in your tickler on your file to be able to contact them at the appropriate time to sell them the appropriate products. If they're generally receptive, at that point, the goal is to stay in touch with them until they're either ready to buy or they have specific dates in mind. If they're disqualified, are they disqualified just for now? Are they disqualified forever? That's going to impact how you schedule your next contact with them. And if they're unresponsive, how much time do I want to give them in between? How much time do I want to let them rest before I reach out to them again to see if they are going to become responsive? When you understand this and you recognize that each of your clients is in one of those 5 categories now, you can invest your time better by simply identifying where they are. Because if you know where they are, you know exactly what you need to do next to advance the selling process. Then you want to reevaluate who is viable now and who is viable going forward. Not all your clients are going to be viable going forward. That's just a fact. It's an unfortunate fact. We don't like to face that fact, but that's also true anytime. No matter what's going on, that's always been the truth. At some point, somebody leaves their job, a position changes, a company is sold, something happens, and a client is no longer viable. That happens. The sooner we know that, the better off we are, because we're not wasting time with people who are no longer viable prospects and clients for us. Okay, so when we talk about re-engaging our clients, these are some of the ways we can start. Now, also, I think it's important to understand that this presentation today is really designed to be the beginning of a dialogue, opening up a dialogue, starting some thinking in this regard. There are other ways you can re-engage your clients, and I would encourage you to think about those. But our purpose today is just to discuss some of the things that we can do and some of the primary things we need to do in order to keep things moving forward. So let's do a quick self-diagnostic, and I'm going to encourage you to do this with each of the 7 steps that we're about to talk about. A self-diagnostic essentially looking at, okay, how well am I doing this? How well am I re-engaging my clients right now? And do I even need to do this? It's possible I'll come up with one and you say, you know what, I'm already doing that. I don't need to do that anymore. That's fine, but we'll do a self-diagnostic so you can get an idea of how much what we're talking about today applies to you right now and how well you can implement it in your business. Okay, so the first self-diagnostic, do you need to re-engage more with your clients right now? Do you need to re-engage them more? And it's a simple yes or no. You either need to re-engage them or you don't. If you don't, that's great. Chances are you might. Chances are we all need to re-engage more of our clients right now. If you think about which ones you're in touch with, what percentage of your clients you're in touch with, and then just ask yourself, well, what's going on with the rest of them? Do I even know? And if you don't know where they fall among those levels of qualification, why not find out? It's very simple to do. The other thing that's important about this is we already discussed the fact that your clients represent every single dollar you've earned in your business, but they're also going to represent a percentage of the dollars you make going forward. So by starting out with this, let's say you did $500,000 in business with your existing client base last year, okay? And this year, you're not quite sure what they're going to generate. Well, you could spitball it and you could say, okay, well, things are a little different now and things were different for a while now. If they spent $500,000 with me last year, what are they going to spend with me this year? Is it going to be more than that? Is it going to be 550 or 600? Is it going to be less than that? Is it going to be 450 or 400? Is it going to be 300? What's that number going to be? And just take a guess based on what you know about your clients. Take a guess and come up with a number. So let's say you come up with a number of 450. You think it's going to drop off a bit. You're going to lose maybe 10% of the business. If that's the case, but you want to still be at 500, or if you want to be at 600, then that tells you exactly how much you're going to need to earn from new customers, from new clients, right? Because if I figure I'm going to be at 450 with my existing customers and I want to be at 600, that means I need to find $150,000 in new business. Hope that makes sense. But it all starts with re-engaging your clients, re-qualifying them, finding out where they are, and determining how much you think they're likely to spend with you over the course of the next year. Make sense? Okay, let's move on.